Good afternoon. Welcome back to Crafternoons. I'm Miss Kimberly. I'm at the Ponte Vedra Beach branch of the St. Johns County Public Library, and today's Crafternoon is going to be making a sugar skull. How neat are these? This is in celebration of the Day of the Dead that comes up on November 1st and November 2nd. And I know Miss Nicole at Anastasia Island branch has done a program on this about the culture and the history. So if you're participated in that, this is just an extra activity that we can do with the craft. Some of these were sent out to the different branches at Ponte Vedra, Anastasia, Bartram Trail, and some of you that are watching today may have picked up the ready-made craft that was provided to us through funding from the Ponte Vedra's Friends of the Library. So if you have that craft already made, you have all the supplies at your hands ready to go. If you did not, you can do the same craft. It's pretty much, you need a couple items. You would need tissue paper, glue, and maybe some black construction paper. So you can make something similar to this, but just on your own. Okay, are you ready to get started? Here we go. Okay, so open up your bags and take out your supplies. They gave you some instructions, which I'm going to go over and do with you so you can read along or you can watch. We have a clear plastic piece that is the shape of the sugar skull. We have the outline that's already pre-cut. We're going to pop it out. You can do that now or later, but that's the outline for our skull. And we have some teeth, and we have our tissue paper. So the only thing that's not in the kit is some of the glue. So what I did is for this project, we need watered down glue. Just a little bit of glue with some water. I had an old glue bottle that had a little bit of glue in it. I added water and I shook it up, and now I have watered down glue. Or you can take a little bowl, squirt some glue in there, add some water, mix it up. I'm gonna use a paintbrush to put the glue on. If you don't have a paintbrush, you can use a Q-tip. You could use your fingers. You could use lots of different things. So here we go. Are you ready? All right. We're gonna take the plastic sheeting that we have first, and you're gonna put some glue on it. So we're gonna take the watered down glue, and we're gonna squirt some on there. You can work in little sections if you want, like so if you wanna start at the top, you can do that. So I'm gonna spread some glue all along the top. I put more glue than that, so I'm gonna spread it around because it's gonna drip right off my plate, or my skull. So we're spread that glue around, and this is what we're going to stick all the little tissue pieces of tissue paper to. If you didn't get a kit and you have this at home, you can rip it up, cut it up, make it into any shape you want, and we're just going to start placing them onto the sugar skull. You can place it anywhere you want in any random pattern, and it's okay to have it overlap the sides because we can go back at the end and trim those off. So they will overlap a little bit just to get it to cover everything. So take your time. This is the fun part. There's no right or wrong. You just take your pieces and you start putting them on. This will take a little while. So younger children may find this to be take a little longer than their attention span. So you actually don't even have to do it all in one sitting. If you just put a little bit of glue on a piece of it, you could start with just doing a little bit, and then you could always come back and work on it a little later if it feels like it's a little too much. So here we go. See, we're just randomly putting all of these, any colors of paper, doesn't matter what they are. They all will look fabulous when we put them together in our sugar skull. So that's what you're gonna do, is keep placing these on there. Random pattern, random order. And if you didn't put enough glue first, you can go back and you can add glue to another section or add a little more glue. You don't want to have it where it's dripping everywhere, but you can be working on this face down. I was just holding it up so that you can see it's starting to come together. We have a lot of clear spots. We don't want to be able to see through it. We want to see all color. So when you're putting your tissue paper, you got to keep on placing it, even if it's over top of each other, so that none of the clear will show. All we want to see is our colorful tissue paper. If you had a kit, you were putting it on the clear shape that was provided. If you didn't, you could cut out a shape of a skull with wax paper, and that would work great too. Anything that you want to put it on. All right, how do you know you're done with this part? If you can't see through it, then you're done. And I think mine's pretty filled up. We have plenty of squares of tissue, so if you need to add in a spot where you think it's missing one, here's one, you can do that. So once you've put all your tissue squares on there, the next thing is we're gonna take our glue, that's the watered down glue, and we're just gonna paint or brush with a Q-tip or our fingers, just a light coating on top. And this will help all of them stick down a little better so that they don't come apart. And it also gives them that wet look. So if you're using a brush, your fingers, we're just gonna take a little bit of glue. You don't need too much because the more you put on, the longer it takes to dry. So go ahead and put some on there. Just paint over the back of it, all the squares that you've added. Oh, they look so neat. When they get wet, the tissue paper colors get much brighter. Okay, so that's pretty easy. You can also, if you're making this at home, you don't have a kit, you could just put this right on top of construction paper and it will look neat too. It won't be a see-through, but it will look pretty cool. So this is the first step. We have our skull and we've painted glue on, put tissue paper, paint it again. Now, the best thing to do is to wait for this to dry a little bit. I know this is the hard part, waiting, but we should wait for it to dry a little bit. And the reason why is what we want to do now is where our tissue paper went over the outside of our shape, we want to trim that off. And when it's wet with glue, it's a little harder to do because it sticks to your scissors. I'm going to go ahead and do it because I want to make sure we can film all of this for you to do that. So here we go. We'll just take off all the edges that went over. Trim, trim, trim. If you need help with this, you can ask your caregiver to trim this for you. But if you want to do it yourself, that's okay too, because it doesn't have to be exact. This is just kind of cleaning up the edges a little bit. Okay. Next step. Okay, so we have this. We put it on. Now it's dry, and it really is best to let it dry a little bit, because if you don't let it dry, the next part we're going to do is put the rim on there. And in order to do that, you would lay it down on your table, and if it's wet, all of the glue will stick to your surface. And then your project will be stuck to your kitchen table or your craft table. So after this is dry, you're gonna lay it down, and we're going to put on the outline. So if you have a kit, this is very simple. You just pop them apart, the two pieces. This is actually extra. You could use this for another neat craft, so we can put that aside. This has a sticky back, so you're gonna peel off the sticky layer. If you don't have a kit like this, this is where you could use a black magic marker, or I would say you could get construction paper and you could cut out a shape to go on the outside of yours, okay? If you have it, use it. If you don't, make it. We're just gonna lay it on top of our skull. And once I did that, you can even see where I need to do a little more trimming because I have a few little pieces hanging on the bottom. So let's just trim that off so it will look nice and neat. Easy to do. Okay, so now it's starting to come along. The last part that we're gonna do is decorate the face. The kit came with lots of shapes. It came with more shapes than you might need, so you get to pick and choose. They're already cut out here and you just pop them out, okay? So you don't have to use them all, or you can use them all if you don't have a kit. This is fun. You can make, again, out of paper, any shape or pattern that you think you want to do. This one had teardrop shapes, little raindrop shapes, circles, hearts, which are great for the nose. If you notice, his nose is an upside down heart. And on his cheeks, we have some hearts. So these are neat shapes that you can cut out, but you can make any shape you want to decorate it. I don't think it really matters what color you do, just the black stands out really nicely on the tissue paper colors. So let's see, I'm going to do, with my kit, I'm gonna take out the eyes, I think, and peel off the sticky back. And if you don't have this, you're just gonna cut one out, or you could draw it on there and glue it on there. So there we go, there's one. And here is two. Let's see, I'll show you what mine looks like as soon as I get it stuck on there. I bet yours are gonna be very creative. This is a great spot here for creativity. Okay, so here's his eyes. Put the eyes on. Now I'm gonna do his nose. I think it looks neat to use the upside down heart for his nose. You could cut out a heart or use the one that you have, but you don't even have to do a heart shape. Your imagination is all you need for this. Okay, in the kit, we also had some teeth. If you didn't get a kit, you could cut out your teeth in white paper. However you want the teeth to look. A nice big smile, I think looks really neat. So I'm gonna put that on there. We have his eyes, his nose, and his smile. Now it's time to add the little fun decorating part. So they can be in any place, pattern you want, any shape you want. Doesn't matter. Let's see, I'm gonna put, I think I wanna do some heart cheeks. Let's see. If I put a heart on his cheek, should I do it? I'll do it the right way up. Kind of like someone gave you a kiss right on your cheek. All right, so this is the part where you can let your imagination go wild. However you want to decorate him, you go right at it. So let me finish decorating mine, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here is my sugar skull. I bet yours will look different. Probably might even look better. We'd love to see what you guys create. Feel free to send us one. The last step, if you have the kit, is they provided you with a piece of string, and this is our hanger, so that if you want to hang this on a window or a door, and a little piece of foamy stickiness, and that's just like a piece of tape. So if you don't have the kit, all you would do is maybe get some yarn or some string and a piece of tape. So that we put our string on the back, and we put our tape or our sticky right over the top, and then it hangs. So now you can maybe put this in a window. That might look really neat when the sun comes through. Thank you for joining us today with our Crafternoon project. I look forward to seeing you for the next one. It'll be in November. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your projects. Bye.